What's up? What's up? Oh, finally have a breather from Pomona. Of course, it happens to be our country's birthday, 4th of July. So I figured why not go over what happened at Pomona, what came home with me, all that good stuff, all the shenanigans, people, etc. So I figured we'll go live on here, see who joins. Ah, cheers. Happy 4th. All right, what are all these buttons? Nope. Well, anyway, last weekend was the Pomona Reptile Super Show, and I vended under the handle Riley's Reptiles, big banner and everything for the first time. Full 10x8 banner, pop up, my own displays, my own animals. Brought a bunch of stuff from the shop too, but vended alongside Glen Reptiles, and this was part of the LA Pet Fair that just happened. So we were in the Reptile building, which was huge. Big shout out to Rami of the Reptile Super Show. He's the one who puts that on. That was hands down the biggest super show to date and the most fun by far. Had a lot of fun. Saw some friends that I hadn't seen in a while. Put some faces to names that, we all meet people on the internet and don't necessarily get to meet them right away. So that was really fun. And I didn't expect to do any shopping around, but I knew I had some things I wanted to look for, but I was blown away by what I found, which is unexpected, but we'll get to that. I want to save the best for last. So if you're sitting here waiting to see what I think you are, you're going to have to sit and hang out. But I always love getting books at these shows, and not every show has a book vendor. And of course, I didn't have time to get away from the table to actually go look through the books, but the books came to me, which was pretty nice. So big shout out, first of all, to Alex of Low Key Animal Guy, Alex Oliver. Got me this amazing book from actually my friends, Scott and Ty Iper over in Australia. They wrote and published this. This is one of many of their publications. I find the way they think and work and produce and write and everything fantastic. Amazing works. Anything written by them. Their social media handle is Nature for You. And Scott is actually now host of a podcast under the NPR network. I believe it's Cold-Blooded Corruptions or Creations, something like that. Anyway, they've got a podcast coming out too. So anything they put out reptile related is gold. So that was fantastic. Again, thank you, Alex, for this. This has been such a great book. I love having all of their works if possible. It's interesting. I've got that collector gene in me, and as much as I try to avoid it with animals, with books, I feel no shame collecting books. So I feel like even if I don't get to read them right away, the knowledge is still sitting there. I can use them as references. Sometimes I read. I tend to forget that I like reading. When I do it, I wish I would remember to do it more, but we are what we are. Another book that found its way to me, great book, Pythons of Asia and the Malay Archipelago, Pythons of the World, Volume 3, basically. Been wanting it for a while, and in fact, my good friend Tony of Revision Reptiles, he's the guy, if you ever see anybody putting out a lot of content on elephant trunk snakes, he's the master of those. He picked this up for me a while back and has been holding on to it since, and I honestly forgot that he got this for me. And then he reminded me he had a book, and I didn't want to admit which book it was because I forgot. So that was pretty sweet to get this in. Hi, Jacqueline Riley. Nice last name. So yeah, it's pretty sweet to get a couple books. That was really rad. Saturday was so busy at the show that I literally only had time to step away to go to the bathroom. And unfortunately, every time I did, there were people who were waiting for me or had left because they were hoping to talk to me, something like that. So I tried not to leave, but you got to go when you got to go. But Alex, who got me that book, tuned me into a few snakes at the show that I might be interested in. And one of them I didn't end up actually getting, and now I kind of wish I had, but it's fine. Was a reduced pattern Darwin Posset albino male, a really nice, high quality one. And so we went over to go check it out. I was like, "Hey, Glenn, can you watch this booth for me, real quick? I'm gonna go check out a snake." And I was thinking I'd be gone 5 minutes, spend $500, pick up a snake, and boy, was I wrong, in the best way possible too. So we get over there. I'm looking at the snake, looking down, looking at the displays, and I kind of do about a 45-degree about face, and immediately see a pair of diamond pythons available. Now, this collection on the table of this particular vendor, I know quite well. If y'all are into carpet pythons, you know Psychotic Exotics basically sold and folded last year to Reptile Island. And my good friend Todd produced some diamonds while he was running Psychotic Exotics. And they're Gary Valle line animals. And they're stunning. Absolutely stunning. I have been putting off getting diamonds for a while. They already ate for me. You can see still got a little bit of a food belly. They ate for me 2 days ago. This guy is pretty nuts. He's got a lot of high white in the neck. And his patterning is very dorsal, and then the sides are kind of like that starry, obliterated, just beautiful. There's a good chance there's some reduced pattern bloodline potential in these animals, given their Gary Valle line, and that would pop up in a lot of different stock. Noah, this is a diamond python. This is a little over a yearling diamond python. And this is the male that I picked up. These guys, if you don't know, we think of pythons, we think they like warm weather. Diamond pythons are actually some of the most southerly occurring pythons in the world, and very subtropical, even sort of rainforest python that likes a little bit cooler, a little more humidity, and they take it nice and cold in the winter. Very happy to finally have these. I've been putting them off for a while because I didn't want to keep them in the warm reptile room, the snake room. I'm thinking quarantine for a bit. So yeah, this is quarantine essentially. I'm not in the main collection population or whatever. I'm not going to be handling any animals in the main population. These animals are in a completely different part of my place. So, but these things are amazing. I'm so happy to finally have them. Very, very cool snakes. What's up, Gerard? Yeah, this guy's pretty sweet. He's got like a really reduced pattern sort of look to him, so I'm wondering if he might throw some in breeding. I don't know. Is it defanged? No, nobody defangs snakes really, and these aren't venomous, so they don't have fangs. They certainly have teeth, but it's not dangerous. Pythons aren't venomous. Out of about 3,500 species of snakes in the world, maybe 10% are venomous or so, and about half of that are considered dangerous to people. So, and being in California, we aren't really allowed to keep venomous, so nothing to worry here. This thing is gorgeous. Very, very happy to be cruising around, even though I've got the air conditioning on and it's a little chilly in here. He's super pleased. I can't wait for these guys to go through their first sheds with me, and I can watch the change and progress as they age. Yeah, beautiful snake. Morelia spilota, the diamond python. These can get anywhere from 6 to 8 feet, depending on a few factors: how you feed them, how big they were when they're born, lineage, genetics, bunch of things, but kind of the same as people. This is just, I'm really happy. This is the first time I've really handled these snakes. I got them at the show and just kind of let them chill. Yeah, so Gerard, I do have these guys set up in tubs with a lot of ventilation. So ventilation all the way around, so they're getting air, tons of it. They're in the living room, so they're nowhere near the main population of animals. And yeah, they're near the air conditioning. Right now, I'm keeping them a little bit ambient just because it's getting so warm right now. 70s at night, 80s during the day. Once they clear quarantine, I'd like to set them up probably in a glass tank, not PVC. I don't know. Give them a basking lamp as opposed to belly heat, and then that way they can be a little more temperate and cool. Eric sent me the email version of Shine's Diamond book, Richard Shine. So his whole publication. So I'm going to spend some time reading through that and learning. But yeah, this is my male. Stunning, 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 stunning boy. I did not expect to find diamond pythons at Pomona. I certainly wasn't shopping for diamond pythons at Pomona, and I did not think I would have the money to buy diamond pythons at Pomona. But I get there and had a crazy good day on Saturday. Sold a lot of snakes. So yeah, Jake, it'll probably be about 4 years before these animals are even up to their first go at breeding. But yeah, I'm in no rush. They're going to go at whatever pace they want. I'm in love. This thing is so cool. Yeah, Pomona was great. Pomona was a really good show. It was packed. The most I've ever seen people there, especially on a Saturday. It didn't stop. There was no ebb and flow. Huge line outside all day from what everyone was telling me. And I was in the middle sort of aisle. There's basically 4 aisles, and I was in the middle, and man, I had people up there all day. It was great. It was so cool. New people. I met some folks that I've talked to online a couple times. I met folks that have been watching my content, but I've never talked to. Got to see some. Oh, watch your nose. Got to meet Marissa, one of my patrons, in person for the first time. So that was awesome. And yeah, just really had a great time all around. It was such a good show. I had my diamond hill set up in an exoteric in the living room under a basket lamp. Let them experience AC night had 0. Yeah, that's, I think, what they need. You know, if we think about the old days of when they were experiencing what they thought was something called diamond python syndrome, it's just overheating them and not letting them cool off at night, keeping them too hot during the day. So I'm going to err on the side of less. Hi. All right, the female wants to come out now. And she, too, ate for me the other day. Gosh, these things are so inquisitive. Okay. This is my female. Now, don't get me wrong. There's no such thing as an ugly diamond. And the male we're just looking at is absolutely stunning. I love how all of his pattern is very, very dorsally coordinated. And he's got that high white up the neck. But this girl is super bright. super bright. Like she glows already. And I think it's going to be like a very, very bright, like yellow on top that'll fade to almost like a highlighter white towards the flanks. But this girl is exceptional. Exceptional. I mean, look at all that. I mean, they really are the jewel of the rainforest. Like the name diamond python. So fitting. Oh, these things are amazing. I get this feeling every time I get a new species of carpet python for the first time, but I'm not going to lie. I think something about diamonds and being cooler and just different. These are different. These things are so nuts. I love my Morelia. Now, if somebody could get me some imbricata, I'll be a happy man. Look at this. Just wicked. That belly. Gosh. And of course, prehensile tail just got me locked up from moment one. Thank you. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. They are very pretty. I don't think there is such a thing as an ugly diamond, but there's a lot of variety to them, especially when you look at the different lines and, rosettes and black and white diamonds or yellow and white diamonds, reduced pattern, stardust, all of that. These are my first diamonds, so I'm definitely not going to be picky, but I'm very pleased. Gary Valle line diamonds. Thanks, Alex. You missed it earlier. I was tipping my cap to you, thanking you for the book find and the snake hunting at the show. Brian, these are produced by Todd Dyer, formerly of Psychotic Exotics, that no longer exists. Reptile Island acquired Psychotic Exotics a year or so ago when Kerry King decided to sell the business. So these would have been produced by Todd's Gary Valle line animals while they were still running that biz. So yeah, there are several different lines of diamond pythons here in the United States, and it seems some preliminary DNA testing shows that most of them are related and probably came in from the same batch. But you have, San Diego Zoo, Cypress Creek, Rotterdam Zoo. What else? Gary Valle line. There's a bunch of different lines, and there's some different looks to them, but essentially, this is your Morelia spilota, and I am very, very happy that Pomona was so good to me. Um, my first time vending solo myself. Sold a lot of snakes, had a great time. Didn't think I was going to do any shopping. I ended up bringing a pair of Wallapia Mountain. I think it's Wallapia Mountain Rosy Boas as well. And they're doing well. They've eaten for me too. Like, how cool is that? Freaking diamond python. Now, the reason I didn't get diamonds when Todd was still running Psychotic and I was close to him, and I've been to the warehouse a couple times, and granted he wasn't producing them in mass every year, and I definitely didn't have the money back then, but I could have made a mission to save up, but I was so obsessed with the rest of carpet pythons and just learning that I didn't know what I didn't know, and I didn't know obviously that I wouldn't have such close access to diamonds. And I didn't ever think that Todd and Psychotic Exotics wouldn't be around. I mean, Todd's around, of course. Love that guy. But um, yeah, you got your wild mail. Yeah, see, there's still wild mail stuff on Reptile Island's tables when they're at shows, but not many. And obviously, it's kind of the end of an era, so to speak. Todd had all the different wildline animals breeding. So it's now just kind of whatever people are keeping around and keeping alive in their own populations of jungles. But yeah, Todd's a great guy. Produced some stunning animals, taught me a lot, a mentor of mine. And I was very proud to message him the other day that I finally got some diamonds that he produced, although I wish I could have, bought them directly from him and helped support him, but it is what it is. He was very happy for me. He's very stoked. He's very firmly team Diamond Python, so, and he's also a Rosy Boa nut, so he was stoked to hear what I brought home. But yeah, this thing's wicked cool. Just to see all that color in person, these tiny little scales, just knowing that as she ages, that it's going to get bigger and prettier and brighter. What are you doing? She's just trying to climb my bald head. So these diamonds are an example of pythons that kind of break the rules. They don't like it warm. They like it cooler. They are a very southerly occurring species. Ben Diamond Exotic, what's up, my friend? So these guys like it cool. Shouldn't keep them nice and warm like the rest of my carpets. Yeah, I'm definitely going to keep them in a separate room, do things very different for these guys. Um, I have some ideas for sure. I think I'm going to start off in glass exoterras so they can get some night drops and just do overhead basking lamp that goes off at night. And then that way they get pretty dramatic day to night temperatures. They don't overheat. And going to try and strategically place them somewhere in the house where they can get some cool evenings for sure. Hoping that the wife and I can buy a house either the end of this year or into next year. And if that's the case, then they will have even more options. But yeah, these things are the best. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love my poplar carpets. So it's hard to say what my favorite is. I don't have a favorite. Come to Arizona. I've been to Arizona. It's hot out there. I'm dealing with heat right now. It's 100 plus for the next 14 days here. Yeah, I agree. I agree, Alex. I'm very, very happy and looking forward to the future. Hopefully, they'll stay nice and healthy, thrive for me for years and years to come, and I can learn more about them. I obviously know the basic husbandry. This isn't me saying, "Oh, I bought some snakes. I have no idea what I'm doing." No, I know what I'm doing. I'm just very stuck admiring this thing right here. This is a thing of beauty. Yeah, you can put males to multiple females. In fact, a lot of people will um, like cohabitate a group of 1.2 or 1.3, things like that, and no issues. Gerard, I sold my male Karibo. In fact, he went to Mike Holstein, the real Tarzan. He was at the show and he was super impressed by him, super stoked. I just had to have him and talked me into selling him as a lone male because Mike doesn't breed. So that was cool. Mike's a super nice guy. So yeah, it's real hot right now everywhere, but for whatever reason, NorCal is just brutal. Um, I don't think there might be one species or one day of sub 100 degrees over the next 2 weeks here. So, but yeah, that means my female black-tailed Crebo, the Posset Exanic proven female, is still available. Selling that the male was the reason I was able to get into diamonds. So, shout out to Mike Holstein of the Real Tarzan. Dude's a good dude. Troy, yes, bucket list species for sure. I had to do it. I had to make it happen. It worked out. Pomona was so good to me that I couldn't not do it. They're awesome. Great snakes, man. Gotta love the way our boreals violate personal space. Absolutely. Just straight up all over the glasses. How many did I acquire? Ben, I got a pair. I got this girl and I got a male. The male has more of a an organized dorsal stripe and much higher white up by the throat. He also has this cool little paradox spot right here. Um, yeah, really high white in the neck. A little darker overall, but has the amazing, like, just immaculate look to him. No, these snakes are not dangerous. These are diamond pythons. They're young, but they will get bigger, but they are not venomous. They're a type of constrictor from some of the southerly most ranges of their home in Australia and Queensland and a lot of that rainforested area. They're wonderful, wonderful, wonderful snakes. Typically quite docile, although, as I say that, I know of one that isn't. So every snake, there's always a small population of some that aren't very friendly, but these things are awesome. Very cold tolerant. I wouldn't even say cold tolerant. I would say cold requiring for the evenings, and I would not keep these anywhere near as warm as my other carpet pythons. Would definitely have a lower hot spot. Right now with the heat, I'm keeping them completely ambient. Um, there's no need to add hot spots onto them. They're happy to eat, happy to cruise with the AC on. Look at these two. Look at these foos. They're like, this is our new dad. Ah, oh, that was a bad idea. How do I feel about the reduced pattern diamonds? I love them. I think they're beautiful. I do understand that these guys probably have some of that lineage in them. So, jungle carpets do not like 95-degree hotspot. Oh my God. No, that's like 90s keeping. Jungle carpets and the rest of them, they like 87, 88 hotspot for a short while. These guys, I'd probably give a hotspot of like 83. Well, now they're both tied up in my glasses. I did not want that to happen. Well, at least now you can see them both. I think this is the male and this is the female. This is awkward. You did this. You. Good to know. Yeah. Oh boy. Yeah, I don't like keeping any of my Morelia with hot spots at 90. I set my thermostats at like 88, 89, do some temp checks, make sure it's not going crazy, and then yeah, if it's warmer than that, they're hugging the cold side, hugging the glass nonstop. God, you guys. There's a tail in my eye. Whose tail is that? Oh, this is out of control. Am I going to produce any crosses? Absolutely not. Not a snowball's chance in hell, my friend. I love seeing other people do it, but no way. No, no, no. You guys. God. Well, at least it's enrichment for them. I can still read. Yeah, no, I don't have problems with crosses, and I think honestly the historic, you know, early diamond jungle crosses and the 75 percenters and 87.5 percenters that people do, I think they're stunning animals. I love seeing the diamond jungle jags and the gamma stuff. Absolutely phenomenal. And you know me, I have my my citrus tiger cross stuff. That's especially the citrus tiger albino projects. That's all crosses. So I don't have a problem with crosses as a whole conceptually. As far as diamonds go, though, I think there's fewer people producing pure diamonds than there are producing diamond crosses. And I think we've got a guy who's about to poop. He's going to poop. Oh, just in time. He's about to take his first poop. Got him back in before he pooped on me. Oh, yep. That's what it's called. Learn your snakes. Read their behavior. Watch their bums. You're going to need the 5 years to save up. Yeah, man, I'm going to need the 5 years just to condition and admire them. I'm sure I'll acquire more by then, too, because I'm a full-blown addict. I bet you by the time these are breeding, they won't be the only diamonds in the house. I do need some more inlands and some roughies too. So there's a lot of Morelia that will be coming and going, but I think diamonds will forever be here. Once they're in, they're not going anywhere. They're gonna be like a tattoo, you know. It's permanent. That's actually a good idea. So the female is not pooping on me, so she gets to stay out. Male just took a big poop. It's always good to see. All right. Well, that's going to be about it. Been on here for a little bit. Just wanted to come on here and talk about a couple show pickups. Oh, she's going to go to the bathroom too. Oh boy, better put her away. Woo! We're dodging some bullets, folks. They're clearly eating over at Reptile Island. They came home and ate for me right away too, which was nice the other day. And yeah, you know that when a snake's going to the bathroom, it's eating well. So, all right. Well, I appreciate y'all putting up with the channel, coming and checking it out. I know I didn't have a video come out this week on Tuesday like I normally do. Got busy. I'll be working on that, so no sweat, and I'll see you guys next week. Later.